Welcome back, everybody. So here it is. We've got our 2-month review on our SetPower fridge. And let me tell you, this thing has been an absolute game changer for us. Oh. First of all, the thing I'd like to point out, right now it's running. Listen to how quiet it is. Right now there are no other noises going on inside here at all, just the fridge. And I'm telling you, this thing is quiet. I can sit here and take a nap on the couch and I don't even know this thing's running. Let me show you how we roll with this thing all the time. We use this thing primarily as a chest freezer, and we keep it completely full. We don't believe in leaving an air gap or any space for the cold air to move around. We give things the old-fashioned test and we fill them up as full as they can go. And honestly, that's how we've used this thing since day one, just packed full. And it runs great. Look at that. It's sitting at 3 degrees right now. It's only because I unplugged it and moved it, but this thing basically stays at 0 degrees all the time. It doesn't matter what's going on. The lid is nice and sturdy. We've been able to stack a bunch of things on top of this where we store the fridge. And by putting things on top of it, we found it actually adds an extra layer of insulation. And this thing, literally, it hardly ever runs. All right, so let's just see how much stuff we've got in here. Okay, first off, you gotta have them. Mini pizzas. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. That's more than I thought was in there. I mean, what do we got here? We got 8 pizzas. We've got, looks like probably 6 pounds of chicken meat. We've got ground beef, ground turkey, cheese, frozen vegetables, frozen fruit, lunch meat. Gotta have them. Bar food, chicken bites, frozen pasta, tortillas for chicken tacos. Extra cheese. Look at all this.
There's
and then
so much in there that I had to pull back the camera.
I know. So bring it up here and let's show what's we'll show the inside of this thing when it's empty. When you look at that, there's no way all that's going to fit in there.
That is a lot of foods.
Okay, let's make it all fit back in there. Okay, now here's a quick caveat. My wife put it all in there the first time, so let's see how good of a job I can do.
What are you implying?
I think you did a better job than me.
Oh, okay.
No, I think you did a better job than me.
You're usually better at packing stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not feeling it today. I'm feeling like this is going to be a. Well, the big thing is I feel like the meat should always go at the bottom. I don't know. Okay, Houston, we almost had a problem. It almost didn't fit back in there. I'm not as good at putting it back as she was putting it in the first time. But so also I'd like to talk about the latch. Okay, I'm very impressed with this latch and just how strong it is. It just works just over and over again. And for somebody like me, I'm kind of rough with stuff. So I tend to break things real easy, and I haven't been able to break anything on this thing yet. So that's impressive, because usually I break stuff in the first day. So, and as you know, for my audience, I'm always going to point out to you all the good, but I'm also going to point out to you the bad. So there's only one suggestion I have for the company. Believe it or not, only one, okay? This plug right here, they didn't make it fit very tight. So here how it went off. And now it's plugged back into where it'll come back on. But anyway, this plug's a little loose. If you could just make this plug a little bit tighter so that it stays in. Because if it's pushed all the way in, it works right there, but it only has to come out just a tiny bit like that, and then it doesn't work. So that'd be the only suggestion I have. Otherwise, there's literally nothing I could suggest. I love the fact that they made a vent on three different sides. So you have 2 vents here, and then you have 2 vents on the other side. So it really doesn't matter if something gets put in front of part of one of them, you still have plenty of ventilation with the fridge. Where some of the companies only make a vent on one side, and then you have to keep that area open all the time, and it kind of makes where you're going to put it a little bit of a challenge. So good on SetPower for that. So right now I have the Victron app open, and you can see that we're using 120 volts, and we're using 104 watts and 7.5 amps. So now I'm going to disconnect the fridge, and we're going to see how much the fridge was using. Okay, we kicked the fridge off. We've lost 50 watts and we've lost about 3 amps, about 2.5 amps. So this fridge uses about 52 watts and looks like just under 3 amps, and that's 110 through my inverter. So that is awesome. I'm not sure what it uses 12 volt. I do not have a 12 volt plug to plug this into, so I am using the 110 adapter. And I'm guessing that it probably uses about the same amps with 12 volt DC, maybe a little bit more, but I mean, that is really low use, very, very low power use. So I would like to point out that even completely full, this can still be picked up by one person pretty easily. I'd say that's probably about 60 pounds full of the food. That is awesome. Also, I really like the fact that the extra handle on the side is spring loaded, so it stays in. A lot of these fridges will have a handle that kind of sticks out, and I'm a guy who bumps my leg into stuff and draws blood all the time, so I'm always injuring myself. So whenever there's something that keeps itself put away, that's really good for accident prone people like me. Also, I really love this handle. It not only makes it easier for a second person to help you lift it in and out of things, but it's also designed to be used with the wheels. But I find it very easy to help you to lift it up and move it around. It also makes it easier for a person that's smaller and doesn't have as much strength to be able to pick it up and move it, because it allows you to have a little bit of leverage. That's very important because, you know, there's probably going to be some elderly people that use these fridges, and probably some very small statured ladies, and little things like that definitely help make it easier to move it around. And look at that, locks right back in place, nice and firmly. You'll notice we did not put the wheels on it, and it's because we keep this thing up on the dashboard of the RV, and it has a nice home up there, and there's just not quite enough room for the wheels. So let me show you the place where we normally keep this thing and show you the home where it sits. And this is its normal home right here on top of the dashboard. And this, I'll back the camera out. This is Sue's office. And having the fridge up here, it works fantastic. It has plenty of ventilation. The dashboard is nice and flat. And we found by keeping these 2 file organizers on top, it helps to add a little more insulation to the fridge. And like I said, this thing uses almost no power at all. I would say if you had a 100 amp hour lithium battery, you would be able to power this fridge no problem and have power to spare every day. So there it is. There is a detailed review of our SetPower fridge, and honestly, I can't say enough about the company. I would definitely buy another one myself. I am extremely impressed with the quality of their product, and I was also impressed with the timely shipping. So use the discount code in the description, Nomad Ranch 12, and go to setpower.com and get one of these fridges for yourself. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you for taking the time to watch our videos, and we'll have much more to come.
There's a fly.
There's a fly.
Stop the production. There's a fly. It's the first fly of the season, ladies and gentlemen.